All right, you can tell supporters of the president are feeling desperate when they start and get very nasty and even threaten violence. Now look at what one of the fine people voting for Obama tweeted recently. Quote, I hope the USA is well aware that in the event that this character Romney wins the election, the people will start a countrywide riot. Now, unfortunately, this is just one of many tweets that are threatening to protest if, in fact, Mitt Romney is elected. And then, sadly, we have the president's good old friends in Hollywood doing his dirty work and trying to scare people into voting for the Democratic ticket. Watch this.
I want to talk to you about women.
And about Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney's for ending funding to Planned Parenthood,
Including cancer screenings.
He said he'd overturn Roe v. Wade.
We have Republicans trying to redefine rape.
trying to force women to undergo invasive ultrasounds.
If you think that this election won't affect you and your life, think again.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote for Barack Obama.
MoveOn.org. Political action is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
All right, joining me now with reaction, the author of Mugs, the New York Times bestseller, the always outspoken Hannity Coulter. Mitt Romney's elected. Cancer screening ends for women. Funding of Planned Parenthood goes away. You know, and he killed a person because when he left Bain Capital, they didn't take away somebody's health care and his wife died. Here we go, scare women. You know why this is happening? Because his numbers with women are way up. Go ahead.
Yes, they are. No, I think the threats to riot and the claim that abortion will somehow miraculously be illegal in places like California and New York is not going to swing the undecided voters here, Sean. Though I will note, white liberals are always threatening black riots whenever they're about to lose an election. Al Gore did it in 2000.
What did Al Gore say? I forget.
It's in my book, Guilty, if you would like the precise quote. But it was very clear that he was speaking in both cases about black people rioting. And, oh, alas, black people don't riot. But thanks for the hat tip, liberals. And if it's white liberals who are threatening to riot, I don't think we have much to worry about from the people who have been hysterical about Big Bird over the last 2 weeks. You know, what are they going to do? Knock over their sippy cups or throw a tantrum when mother is changing her blouse in the department store too long? I don't think we have much to worry about white liberals rioting. And black people have not shown a disposition to riot, despite liberals slandering them by saying they're about to.
Remember Obama said, and Paul Ryan kept bringing this up in the last debate, if they don't have substantive issues, a record to run on, then they make this about little things, about Big Bird, about this fictional war on women like we keep hearing. I mean,
right.
You know, I mean, Eva Longoria is a great actress. Scarlett Johansson's a great actress. They don't know anything what they're talking about with politics. I mean, to scare people like this, women won't get cancer screenings. Republicans want women. They don't want women to get cancer screenings. It's just like...
Well, I don't think it will...
Go ahead.
I don't think it will work. I mean, women can walk into Walmart and see, you know, on the wall they can buy contraception for $9. But just the idea of actresses putting together a political ad like this, it's like listening to trust fund babies. The reason you have the ability to put this ad together is because of nothing you have done yourself. Completely unearned. God gave you the gift of genetic beauty and nothing between your ears. So that's why we're supposed to listen to you, because God gave you beauty, or because, you know, Daddy gave you a trust fund. Of all the people to listen to and to be scaring independents that Republicans are waging a war on women?
Aren't they part of this 1% that doesn't pay their fair share? I would like to put, I'm serious, I would like to put on everybody's tax form a box, and they can check it. And they can say, yes, I want to pay more. And then they can write the check, and they can pay more, and they can feel good about themselves.
You don't need a box. You can pay more.
Because Joe Biden's a cheapskate compared to Mitt Romney when it comes to donations and charity, and even President Obama. He's part of the 1%. He's not exactly that generous either compared to Mitt Romney. It's just that...
Right, but you can do more. You don't need a special law for this. There is a law right now that allows you to send in as much as you would like to the IRS or to a charity. And in both cases, liberals have a starfish on their wallets and can't really reach into it. But as for, you know, the general idea of airheaded actresses trying to persuade independent voters, undecideds, that Republicans are the ones who are going to be who are going to be soft on rape? You know, if so, this could be the one issue Mitt Romney and Bill Clinton could come together on. The party that defends John Edwards, Bill Clinton, Dominique Strauss-Kahn. And meanwhile, you have these absolutely honorable and decent men in the case of Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney. I don't think this is much of a winning argument.
Stay right there. We have a controversy emerging about tomorrow night's debate moderator, Candy Crowley. We'll have more on that, more with Hannity Coulter, and highlights from her battle with Bill Maher and Ben Affleck from this weekend. Also, still to come, we have breaking news tonight. Hillary Clinton says, well, the buck stops with her, and she's taking responsibility for the deadly terrorist attack in Benghazi. Now, if the buck stops with her, who's the president? Now, it sounds like she might be taking the fall. We'll check in with former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, Bob Beckel, and much more. And then move over Obama girl, Paul Ryan girl, is out there. She'll join us later this hour.
Let's get this
a polling, independent polling, in Pennsylvania, a northern state, in 2008. 12% of the people there said they were, quote, not ready for a black president. I assume there's some racism involved with that.
No.
Not ready for a black president.
Well, that's because they knew what the black president, who the black president was they were talking about, and it happened to be the black president who said he was going to bankrupt the coal industry.
No. Any black, not ready for a black president. Just did not have the stomach to see a black man get on Air Force One.
More people. Oh, there are the racists.
But I mean, you can't really believe that there are no racists left in America.
More people say they wouldn't vote for a Mormon, but by the way, they know which Mormon is being talked about, so it's a way of saying I wouldn't support Romney.
Oh, God.
West Virginia. Well, I mean, your audience may have just disproved me since they're applauding not wanting a black man getting on Air Force One, so apparently there are racists here.
All right, we got to give Ann credit. She goes into the Lion's Den this past weekend, and here to talk about our little showdown with Bill Maher. Ben Affleck? And by the way, it was nice of you to call him out on his use of a private jet. He didn't dispute it. It was pretty funny.
Yes, it's interesting how people who mostly fly private are all in favor of airport security. But how about that? Bill Maher's cretinous audience applauding for the idea of a black man not being allowed on Air Force One. I mean, either they themselves don't want a black man on Air Force One, or lots of their friends, i.e. other cretinous liberals, don't want a black man on Air Force One. Being a conservative like you, Sean, I don't know any actual racists, but there seem to be a fair number of them on the left, which isn't surprising given the reaction to that lovely actress Stacey Dash, who sends out that inoffensive little tweet about support Romney, it's in your future, and suddenly is being called racist names on Twitter, or the way liberals treat Mia Love and Alan West, Michael Steele, Clarence Thomas. I mean, where these small pockets of racists in America are completely on the left, as I describe in my book, they historically always have been.
Well, you know, Jay-Z's doing a new ad for President Obama. He and Beyonce did this fundraiser for Obama, and, you know, the president doesn't have time to meet with anybody else, but he has time for Jay-Z. So he's doing this ad. Here's a guy in his lyrics that regularly uses the N-word. Was interviewed by Oprah Winfrey back in 2009. She took issue with it in a number of questions. And I'm just wondering if Mitt Romney had somebody doing campaign ads for them that regularly used the N-word, what would the result be? What would the reaction be? What would the media firestorm be like?
That's true, but I prefer to think about black celebrities like Shiner, the hip-hop artist who's come out for Romney, and Stacey Dash, again, that lovely actress who's come out for Mitt Romney. There are a surprising number of black celebrities who are
there are more Hollywood people.
Romney.
That's a good point, this time coming out for Romney. All right, a controversy over tomorrow night's. This is going to be at Hofstra University. We'll be there immediately after the debate. Candy Crowley, I don't know how you pronounce her name. She's going to be the moderator of this debate. And remember, when Paul Ryan was selected, she said the following.
Already had this debate. All they have to do at Obama reelect is open up the files, because this debate has already happened. They just bring it back. It goes, you know, it is what they talk about. But I think the other thing that's worth pointing out is not every Republican has signed on to this kind. I mean, they will publicly, but there is some trepidation.
They're afraid,
that this might be looks a little bit like some sort of ticket death wish. That, oh my gosh, do we really want to talk about these things? Is this where we want to go when the economy is so bad?
picking Paul Ryan as a death wish. Now, there's another Martha Raddatz for you in the making. Now, she's not supposed to, she's supposed to ask, she gets to select them. She's supposed to ask the question, not reinterpret the question, not do follow-ups, but she says, I'm not a potted plant, and I get to say, wait a second, what about X, Y, and Z? And apparently got a little call from the debate commission and said, this is what your role is, and this is what we expect you to follow. But when she's out there, she can do whatever she wants. Why do Republicans keep allowing liberal moderators?
I know. Well, we'll see how things go. I hope she's like Jim Lair, because I hate when, you know, they give you 30 seconds to answer a question of the presidential candidate and then say, that's it, we're moving on. But there are two things I will say in Candy Crowley's defense, and again, we'll see how the questions go tomorrow. One is she is one of the rare smart CNN on-air personalities.
I agree with that.
The rest of them are foreigners with glasses.
That comment sounded liberal to me.
And they're trying to fool us into thinking they're smart by putting foreigners with glasses on TV, but they're all airheads, other than Candy Crowley. And moreover, I will always have a warm spot in my heart for her for being the first one to read aloud from the Starr Report on TV. My final prediction.
Little things
on this
make you
debate,
happy, Coulter.
Yes, it does. My prediction is that the media, liberals in the media, i.e. the media, realized they made a horrible strategic miscalculation by speaking the truth right after the first presidential debate. So no matter what happens during the next two presidential debates, they will come out and say, oh, Obama won. He was magnificent.
Obama's back. Obama's back. He won. He won. Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens. Look, he couldn't get any worse, so he has to be somewhat better. And the format,
and one more thing, I'll be speaking at Penn
format.
State on Thursday.
Who's undecided in America?
Thursday.
You can't be undecided. But apparently they have some undecided.
I'll be at Penn State on Thursday.
All right. Thank you, Coulter.
Thank you, Sean. I'll be at Penn State on Thursday.
Coulter's going to be at Penn State on Thursday.
Thank you.
Fox News alert. By the way, speaking of such an alert, we have when we get back. Breaking news tonight. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton